weeks of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Second and 6.
They run it again with Kamara.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Jameis to throw it. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A solid 12-yard return after the 55-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Hunt. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Off the play fake. Hunt. And he can't escape, and down he goes. That's the former Buckeye Pete Warner getting the sack.
All right, partner, will be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Operating from the gun. Hunt. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. But what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try to pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
Again, it's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Following the interception, Winston. That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Saints. Adam Troutman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey already? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. The young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is going to lose yardage here. That second down play nets a -4. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Winston. That's complete to Troutman, right side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Off play action. Hunt on the move to his left. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. 19. Operating from the gun, Hunt. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Winston now from the 50. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes. Try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They go play action. Winston. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the red zone now, Winston. To the right side and complete to Thomas. Touchdown! Michael Thomas. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to add on to their first half lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
He'll find Jones again, complete. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. From the gun on 3rd down. Hunt. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage. As soon as he leaped down and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Hunt. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Winston now to throw on 1st down. There's Chris Olave. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the 1st down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
18,
On 1st and 10, Hunt. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Adam Troutman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Zerline good with a PAT. And a round is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now we'll bring up 3rd down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
In motion goes the tight end. Off the play fake. Hunt. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Rolling to his left. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On second down, it's Jones, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
And then we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
So a chance to breathe easier now. 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll go again to Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They have 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Cut 19! Cut 19! Mustang 19! 18, 5 years!
Looking to throw. Hunt. And this is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here we go, here we go! Chevy Ranger! Warriors 17, popping up 18, 19 right, Riggs, 60 Maverick, ready,
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he'll start with a give to Kamara. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Winston a give, it's Kamara. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 1st and 10, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Play action now, Winston. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
10.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Kamara up the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hunt. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear them. Off right now. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, 4th quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, spent time in the film room and they worked on his mechanics. Sometimes it's just your team believing in you.
There he goes, left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort. Really well executed. Congratulations to them.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Off play action. Hunt. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down. Back to throw. Hunt. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down, and will.
18 Randall.
Back to throw again. That one complete to Joe Reed. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints will take over here just shy of the 30. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl when you have 4 in one game. I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 136 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there was no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run and then executed.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Winston here to throw. Out to his left. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Not much defensive resistance on that drive. Really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
The busy night continues for Kamara.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for tonight.